Hi. Hi everyone, this is John Burness from New Evening Isle, my home recording label, and I just feel indebted a little bit to give you another guitar lesson. I've already done guitar lessons in the past. I did one recently of a John Fahey song called Transcendental Waterfall. Sorry, my hand's itchy. So I already did a guitar lesson pretty recently, going over the intro to that. I'm kind of liking this new venture I'm doing. And with these guitar lessons, I want to do much more of an emphasis on lesser known songs that I think people should learn on the guitar. And I would love to teach people Transcendental Waterfall because I love the very spiritual connotation of that song, and I really would love to teach this song because it has one of the best melodies I've ever heard, and it's just a fantastic, tremendously written song, even though it's a cover. So this song is called Famous Flower of Serving Men, and this is one version of it by an Irish musician called Martin Carthy. So it was not written by Martin Carthy. It was written by, I believe his name was Lawrence Price, who wrote ballads and plays. And it was written in 1656, so it's well in the public domain by now. And then Martin Carthy did this fantastic version of it. And from my digging, you can't find the original recording of it on Spotify. There's only live versions of it, but you can find it on YouTube, the original recording as it was done in the studio, not live versions of it. So I just feel this is just an amazing intro, amazing riff that I just did, and I'm going to teach you how to play it. So first and foremost, this is not in a standard tuning. This is an alternative tuning. And let's go over that. So instead of E, A, D, G, B, E, you're going to, let me turn it up. You're going to D, G, C, G, C, D, D, G, C, G, C, D. And from what I understand, this is not a terribly unpopular tuning in Europe, but it's very unusual in America. And it must be so because there's this British band called The Laws. They're a one-hit wonder band that did the song There She Goes. And one of their songs is actually in this tuning I found out very recently, which kind of blew my mind. It's also a really good song called The Way Out, and it goes like this. So that's another more famous song in this tuning. So it must be that this tuning originated in Ireland or somewhere in South London and took off, and it never really took off here in the States. So that's just something really amazing that I found out recently. So this is actually going to be a very easy lesson. It's really just playing with octaves. And I mentioned on my previous guitar lesson, doing Transcendental Waterfall, that I named this thing called the Little Wing effect, which is the phenomenon I noticed that the reason Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix is one of the best works of guitar is because it's very open to improvisation. It's very improvisation friendly. It's very easy to add your own elements to the song. It's very unrigid in that regard. And this is no different. This is actually, almost every time I play this, I'm actually playing pretty much a new finger picking pattern the whole time, like really focusing too much on my right hand. I'm not really focusing on my right hand too much over the course of this lesson. So it's all in the left hand and it's all in octaves. So let's get started. So I've mentioned the tuning, and just like last lesson, I'm actually going to refer to the strings as their standard tune name. I feel like that's going to make it a little bit easier to understand. So instead of calling this the D string, I'm still going to call it the E string. Instead of calling this the G, well, that's the same. Instead of calling this string the C string, I'm going to still call it the B string. So this is so what we're going to do is do our first octave, and it's going to be pretty much the same position the whole song. Notice how my fingers don't move, really? They only move in the fretboard, but the positions stay the same. And all it's going to be is you're going to be fretting the D string and the B string. Those are the only strings you're going to be fretting, and they're going to be on the same fret every time. So you're going to pick the D, the G, and the B string, and then the high E string, with your fingers with this position on the 7th fret. There we go. And then after the second time you hit that high E, you move your fingers up 2 frets to the 9th fret. And then you kind of do a minor third going down. So you slide down from the 9th fret to the 7th fret, and then you slide down from the 7th fret to the 5th fret. And then this is, for me, when I play this, when I hit that, and then of course, after you go from the 5th fret, you slide back up to the 7th fret, where we started. And then I hit an open A string. And it creates this amazing droning kind of new age sound. See, when I do those reverse fan strokes, it sounds pretty cool, but that's not part of this song. So, and then after you hit that open open A, you put your position on the 5th fret, D string 5th fret, and B string 5th fret. And then you hit that very briefly, and then this is optional. You can either slide down to the 2nd fret, or you can just pluck the 2nd fret. I'll show you the difference. You can do that or this. I prefer the latter. I just want to go. So I prefer to do that. So. And you hit that very briefly, and then go just 1 fret up to the 3rd fret with both of your fingers. So then you go 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then you go back up to the 5th fret. And then to the 7th fret. to the 5th fret, to the 3rd fret. So all together it should go. And while I'm doing that whole thing, I will hit, you can either hit, you can hit any string really, except for the high E. That sounds a little too meshy. I will hit the A string during this. So instead of having this very naked, incomplete sound, I will do. So after that little descend, you go. And you do the D string and the B string on the 2nd fret, which is a D note, and then pull off, open, D and B string, back on the 2nd fret. Then you start again on the, so all together we should go. Then you go on the 3rd fret on both strings, the D and the B string. And then you go from the 5th fret to the 7th fret. And then we go pretty high up on the, we go relatively pretty high up on the fretboard and go all the way to the 11th fret. So all together. And then kind of the climax of this whole riff is to slide from the 11th fret all the way to the 14th fret. So it goes and again, this is definitely a riff that is open to improvisation. So you can either, in between these chords, hit the open A or the open D. Sorry, open E. So, and I'll show you what both of those sound like. So open A would sound like, okay. And then on the, leaving the high E open. And then after that, the 14th fret. I love those flamenco strokes. And then after that 14th fret, you do this kind of bluesy thing, and you go all the way back to the 7th fret on the D and the B string, and then you do this. So after that 14th fret to the 7th fret, 9th fret, slide down to the 7th, and slide down from the 7th fret to the 5th. And that pretty much concludes it. That concludes the intro to Martin Carthy's version of Famous Flower of Serving Men. So let's do this. So I'm going to play it slowly, and then I'm going to play at normal speed. Here we go. And I'm going to do it twice because that's how it was in the recording. Normal speed. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, joyful day or night wherever you are. Thank you for watching, and